We're finally good to go.
Okay.
It is very nice to be outside, don't you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, I guess. Really, really.
I'm sitting here with David Tako, and just in case you're wondering where you might know him from, well, of course, this beautiful book, Green Class. This is the first thing I read from you, and when I was looking around, I have a feeling this is also your first comic book, is that right?
Exactly, it's my first comics. I just did a short story for epidemie. So epidemie was my really first experience of comics, but Green Class is my really first comics.
If we then go back a little bit before that, how did you start doing, well, comics?
The beginning, it was I worked actually in animation, 3D animation, and I did a lot of illustration and everything. And one day I met my scenarist, Jerome, and we talk about doing a story I had into comics, and I wanted it in animation first. But slowly he started to convince me it was better in comics. We worked 1 year and a half on it, and we started even to talk with the publisher Le Lombard to make it happen. But at the end we were super tired of this story, because it has been too long we were working on it. So we wanted to start a new story, something fresh. Something we really could put everything in it. So I had the idea of Green Class doing illustration for Inktober.
Yeah.
It's an event for the month of October, where any artist can participate and do every day an illustration with inks and post it every day on the social media. So during this event I did illustration every day, and I create characters, and I start to think about the story with those characters. And Jerome was super excited to develop this thing, and that's how we create Green Class.
So it's basically evolving from the Inktober
exactly.
project. So it's your idea then?
Well, at first, yeah, the characters and everything. It was my will, to do something post-apocalyptic with young characters and everything. And but right after that, we start together to write the story, and we add also new characters and everything. So yeah, it's like really a story of the both of us.
It's interesting because I read something from Jerome Hamon before, which was something totally different, which was about dancing. So, and then I read this one. It's like, wow, that's a whole different world. But I really enjoyed it, and I especially enjoyed the artwork. I have a feeling it is a bit manga inspired. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, a lot of people who really knows comics from France and Belgium and everything can say that, because it's true. I read a lot of mangas in my life, and I think it's inspired me a lot, really a lot. And I guess it's correct. Correct.
There was one thing I noticed, and now I have an opportunity to ask you. I have to find an example, like on this page. This kind of these lines for the action.
Speed lines.
Why is that?
Well, I think it's part, in a way, of the fact that I worked in animation. Like you have to use for some frame of animation sometimes some speed lines to show the movement. It's a little part of it, and the other part, if it's totally about mangas, it's like used in every mangas to make an action feel very strong or very dynamic or very fast, you know. And to me, it's how I like to do it. It's really, I can't draw without it. It's not like necessarily a perfect thing to, because really good drawer could draw a really strong action without it. But I think it's always add something to the eye, like it makes the drawing really special, and it shows really quickly to the reader that it's a really strong movement and everything. And it's also kind of, how do you say, special, because it's not a lot in French comics, so that's why I use it too. I love it, and it's natural for me, so but it's especially for manga, I think.
Okay. Basically a bit of your signature art then, so people can recognize that it's from
you. Yeah, I guess a lot of people told me about it, so I guess I must be one of the few who use it.
Now with this first book published and out, and people have been reading it, how do you look back on the whole process of creating it?
Jerome and I are constantly sharing our thoughts or ideas about everything. He gives me a lot of ideas for the design, he gives me a lot of feedback about it, and I'm constantly like talking about the story with him, and makes it really hard to evolve, and sometimes a bit slower than other authors, but we're really enjoying it because we are really working personally and putting everything we like in it. So it's, I think it's a good way to work, but not necessarily the fastest.
This is the first part. Is it an ongoing story, or is it going to be a few albums and then a finished story?
We signed for 4 books. We don't want to do a really long series, but I think we will do at least 6, because we have so much to say about the characters. We want really to develop a story, really strong, where the characters are going to evolve a lot and everything. So, but we don't want to make it too long for the readers and for us too. But we want to take the time necessary to do it well, and to have something readers will remember.
Where are you now? Are you on the next book, or is it already finished?
I'm finishing the second one. Is going to be published by the end of January for the Festival of Angoulême, and I'm currently working too with Jérôme on the story of the third, and it's going to be like this for at least 5 or 6 books, I guess. Yeah. We're trying to do one each year.
Okay, and do you have other things you do next to the books, or are you still working in animation?
Animation, no. I'm doing sometimes illustrations, but it's really hard for me to do both. It's like green class takes a lot of time, because I'm also participating on the story, and I'm doing the drawings and the colors and everything, and I'm not yet super established with the rhythm and everything. So yeah, for now it's like really a big part of my time.
It's a nice challenge for you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I appreciate you taking the time off here in lovely Brussels, in the park, really in the park this time now, to have a chat with me. And well, enjoy the rest of the festival, and good luck with the next books.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure.
Okay.